In a faraway land wrapped in endless forests and whispering winds, there lived a girl named Vasilisa. She was known in her village not only for her beauty, but for the quiet strength in her heart. Life had not been kind to her. Her mother, a gentle woman who loved her deeply, had died when she was still a child. Before her last breath, her mother gave her a small wooden doll, carved with careful hands and blessed with a mother's love. "Keep it close," her mother had whispered, "and feed it a little bread when you are in need. It will help you when no one else can." Vasilisa clutched the doll like a treasure, never letting it leave her side. After her mother's death, her father married again. The new wife brought with her 2 daughters, and together they filled the house with bitterness. They resented Vasilisa's grace and kindness, and they worked her to the bone, hoping to crush her spirit. From morning until night, she scrubbed, swept, and sewed, but she never complained. The doll in her pocket comforted her, whispering courage when she felt weak. One autumn, as the nights grew long and the winds howled through the village, the stepmother plotted to rid herself of Vasilisa once and for all. She sent her deep into the forest, to the hut of Baba Yaga, the fearsome witch whose name was spoken in tremors. Baba Yaga lived in a strange hut that stood on chicken legs and spun to face strangers. Some said she devoured lost souls, others that she held the secrets of life and death in her bony hands. "Go," the stepmother sneered, "and fetch fire from Baba Yaga. We have none left, and only she can give it." Vasilisa's heart quaked, but she could not refuse. She tucked the doll into her apron and stepped into the black woods. The path seemed endless, the trees looming like dark giants. Strange noises echoed through the branches, owls hooting, wolves growling, whispers that made her shiver. She grew weary, and fear gnawed at her, but each time she paused, the doll warmed in her pocket, reminding her she was not alone. After hours of walking, she saw a strange light flickering in the distance. As she approached, her breath caught in her chest. The hut stood high upon its chicken legs, scratching the ground as though restless, spinning to keep its door away from her. Around it stood a fence made of human bones, crowned with skulls whose empty sockets burned with eerie fire. The sight froze her blood, but she gathered her courage and cried out, "Hut, hut! Stand still with your back to the forest and your door to me." At once the hut obeyed, creaking into place. The door creaked open and out stepped Baba Yaga. Her hair was wild as tangled roots, her teeth sharp as iron, her nose long and crooked like a branch. She sniffed the air and cackled. "I smell a human. Why do you come here, little girl? Do you not know that I eat such as you?" With trembling voice, Vasilisa bowed and said, "My stepmother sent me to ask for fire. Our home has none." Baba Yaga's eyes gleamed like coals. "Very well," she rasped. "I will give you fire, but only if you earn it. You must work for me, and if you fail, you shall be my supper." Fear clutched at Vasilisa, but she agreed. The witch gave her impossible tasks: to clean the hut until it shone, to separate a bushel of millet from grains of dirt, and to weave fine cloth before dawn. Vasilisa despaired, for the work was far beyond her strength. Yet when she fed the doll a crumb of bread and whispered her troubles, the doll leapt to life, finishing each task with ease. By morning, the hut was spotless, the grains neatly sorted, and the cloth fine enough to dazzle even Baba Yaga. The witch squinted at her with suspicion. "You did not do this alone," she snarled. "Who helped you?" "My mother's blessing helps me," Vasilisa replied simply. At the mention of blessing, Baba Yaga hissed and turned away. Blessings were a thing she could not touch. Still, she was bound by her promise. She plucked a skull from her fence, its eye sockets glowing with fire, and handed it to the girl. "Take it. This is the fire you came for. Now leave my sight before I change my mind." Vasilisa thanked her, clutching the skull carefully, and hurried back through the forest. The burning eyes lit her way, chasing back the shadows. When she reached her home, her stepmother and stepsisters rushed out, eager to see if she had returned empty-handed. The skull's fiery gaze turned upon them, and its light burned with terrible heat. The stepmother and her daughters shrieked as the flames consumed them, leaving Vasilisa free at last. Though shaken, she did not let grief harden her. She buried the skull, prayed for the souls of those who had wronged her and turned her face to a new life. She carried her mother's doll always, remembering the love it symbolized, and through her trials, she had found a strength she never knew she possessed. In time, Vasilisa left her village and traveled to the city. Her skill at weaving caught the attention of noble folk, and her beauty and kindness shone wherever she went. Even the Tsar himself heard of her, and when he saw her, he was struck not only by her appearance but by the quiet courage that radiated from her. She told him her story not with pride but with honesty, and he admired her even more. In time, he made her his bride, and she became known as Vasilisa the Brave, for she had faced darkness and cruelty, and had emerged with her heart unbroken. Her tale spread far and wide, not only as a story of beauty, but of resilience. For Vasilisa showed that even in the face of fearsome witches and cruel fate, courage, kindness, and a mother's love could light the way through the darkest forest. And though the villagers still whispered of Baba Yaga and her strange hut with its chicken legs, they also spoke of Vasilisa, the girl who went into the forest a trembling child, and came out a brave young woman whose spirit could not be crushed. And so in the land of deep woods and ancient magic where shadows move like living things and the wind carries old voices, her story endured, reminding all who heard it that bravery often begins not with strength of body but with strength of heart.